Hello everyone. We are so happy to be here. I am Kim Kesti in the Spellbinders studio, or am I? Actually, you can call me Kimmy today. I am an elf on vacation. I'm just volunteering over there at the Elf Mart, as a greeter. It's kind of fun to do between seasons. We are having fun here at Spellbinders. Again, welcome. We are excited to be here today for the Scrapbook and Cards Partner Celebration. We feel like this is just a really fun time to touch base with y'all, see what you're up to. Maybe you are working on holiday cards. I don't know. That's what we're doing over here at Spellbinders. So I thought I would share that with you today. So we're going to have a little fun with kind of a mix of two collections. We have some new releases here in August. And just as a reminder, our new releases drop on the 10th of every month here at Spellbinders. So whenever you log in, you can always go to that coming soon. That's always fun. That's a very popular page on our website. But just know that August 10th, September 10th, October 10th, etc., are when our new arrivals launch. So a lot of these, maybe you've already seen a little bit on social media. Again, they did launch on August 10th, but I was like, great opportunity to kind of share with you and do some crafting. I think that's going to be fun. So let's take a look at what I'm going to be featuring today in my little elf mode here. We've got a collection called Holiday Magic. So it's really all about simple, quick, and easy cards. So I thought that would be perfect for the video today. It's going to be working with some rub-ons. So we have this wonderful pack. And if I flip them over, you can see there's actually two sheets of rub-ons. One that's got these kind of medium-sized icons, and then there's little bitty ones, which you might be seeing a little hint over here, and kind of where we're going to go with those little guys. And then these are kind of our mid-range ones, and these are so perfect for quick and easy cards. So I'm going to be working with actually kind of both of these sheets right here. So again, rub-ons aren't something that we've had on Spellbinders really for a while. Since we've been working with Hero Arts, they had a great factory that did amazing rub-ons, the buttery soft ones. So we kind of got that insider information there and started producing some in the kind of a Spellbinders style. So that's really super fun. Then I'm going to be pairing that. I'll set this aside because I have one. Oh, no, actually, I don't have one open. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and open this and pull them out. These are made to coordinate with what you're seeing here now on my screen. This tall, slim embossing folder. And this is a really great embossing folder. It is kind of a 2-for-1. It embosses your paper in the lovely, gorgeous Spellbinders way. But also, if you can see here where we've got the dies inside, it die cuts at the same time. So all in one pass, you emboss, you cut, you do everything all at once. So it's so much fun. And that does have these little coordinating dies, which you can also put in the folder if you want. I'm going to choose to do them separately, and you'll see why in just a minute here. But you can also have it cut a frame. So in other words, if you add that center die, you're going to just get the frame of cardstock all the way around. I'm going to want to go kind of for the whole little, more like label shape is what I'm going for. Now, one tip on these, in this embossing folder is that you have to put the dies in and usually use a little bit of yellow tape. And what's interesting and why I have it like this setup is that you could put the die on the front of the folder, which is what we always say, the part with the logo on it. We call this the top or front of the folder. Or you could place the die on the back of the folder, and that's going to give you a little bit different look. So let's go ahead and let's run one through. Let's use this pretty kind of light aqua color here. And of course, I'm going to get my Mighty Mister, and I'm going to spritz this a little bit. That's just going to allow the folder to really press into that paper. Kind of do it a little bit on the side there. I think I'll do the rectangle first. And then I'll kind of show you the difference. You could do two at once. I could do another piece of paper and do the oval, but let's just do the rectangle for now. So you can see I've just got my paper placed in there just to be able to cut the one die. And then if you all remember how easy it is to do a 3D embossing folder with Spellbinders, you just need your platform base, which is your A. It's marked right here. And then you just need your D adapter plate. So I feel like we've pretty much mastered the 3D folder situation here at Spellbinders. And then, of course, I'm just going to run it through my Platinum 6. And you will see the magic of it, again, embossing and cutting all in one pass. Pretty fun. And then your plates will stay taped in there pretty good for a while. I mean, eventually, I suppose this yellow tape runs out, but we can kind of get a nice close look here. And then I'm going to bring in the folder pressed where I have the die in the other position. So this is with the die in the top of the folder. And I know this one's white, but if you can see the difference, I'm going to kind of tip them. So this is the debossed. So if I switch that die and put it on the back side of the folder, you're going to get this kind of debossed look. So I think you can see where the frame has got kind of that indent there, and this has got the, what do we say, puffed up, the kind of where it's embossed or it's popping out. And so either one is just super cute. You really can just have your choice of which look you want. And maybe it kind of depends on if you're going to use the matching die then to cut an image inside. You could cut a different color of cardstock. You can cut an image like we're going to do with the rub-on. You could cut pattern paper. Just think of all the fun possibilities of popping in that little insert die cut piece right there. And then of course you could decorate with die cuts. Oh my gosh, so many fun possibilities. I love it. So we're going to set that folder aside. And again, I don't know if some of you are screenshotting or jotting out. We are going to link these in the body of this video, but this is E3D 132. So it's a fun 2-for-1. So I'll keep my die here hanging out. Put these to the side a little bit. Now I think we'll work on the rub-on. Yes, we are going to be doing some wax sealing, so save that for a little bit later. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. But we've got our 2 sheets of rub-ons here. And I can kind of pick. I think I'm going to go for Santa. I had already kind of a little bit pre-planned this card. So I think I'm going to go for the Santa to go in this little frame. And what's nice is you can also use the frames to kind of decide, okay, so cute, or do I like the little oval? Maybe the oval cuts off his arms. Let's go over here. You know, so that you can kind of play around. Oops, sorry, Kevin, I'm moving around too much. And kind of see what matches your frame. But I feel like this rectangle one's going to be super cute with jolly old Saint Nick here. So for rub-ons, you're going to want to, this is the way I do it anyway, you're going to kind of want to cut which image you want away. And then I just keep these intact. I don't try to, you know, cut them apart small or anything. I think if you keep the sheet a little bit bigger, then it stores a little bit easier. Set those aside. I'm going to bring back that small one and definitely rub that one on. Oh, I'm feeling like my paper is like, forgot it was so nice and thick. I thought I had 2 pieces there. Okay, so for the rub-on part, super easy. If you're old school, you've done rub-ons in the past, loving it. You just grab the little sheet and you peel back the image. So now this is kind of a, can you see it's kind of a little bit more clear, opaque. So this is just trash. This is your backer piece. Don't forget to peel that off, because if you try to rub it on without peeling it off, it will not be as much fun. You might be rubbing there for a while. And then you kind of put it on, and it doesn't stick necessarily, but it does kind of tack itself in place there, especially if you kind of do a little rub with your fingers. And then you just get your super, super technical tool right here, your popsicle stick, which does come in the pack of rub-ons. Maybe you guys can write in the comments if you have other fantastic tools that do rub-ons even better than a popsicle stick, but this really does do the trick. So you're just rubbing, you're using the curved end of the popsicle stick and just kind of going around. Now I'm going to test this and peel it up once I think I've gotten most of the image. Oh, there we go. It's already rubbing off. So you scrub, 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 rub, rub, rub. And again, you can kind of peel back a little bit and see if it looks like it's pretty good. I don't think I got these dots. These cute little watercolor dots. I want to make sure they're on there. All around the edges. Maybe across the bottom. Again, kind of peek without peeling it all the way back, but you can kind of peek and it's like, ooh, it's looking good. You guys look at this fun little reveal. Oh, he's looking good. Yes, excellent. And basically everything is off your sheet, which is what you want. And there's your darling little rub-on. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Already so cute. And you can see kind of the fun direction this card is going to go. So now I take my matching die. I'm going to just use a teeny bit of our yellow tape here. By the way, best ever craft tape. Again, we'll make sure we link that in the video. And then of course you kind of place it wherever you want. I think he's centered. That's pretty good. And then we'll zip him through my die cutting machine. Cutting plates are helpful, Kim. Yes. Okay. And then, of course, there's plenty of this white little panel that I had to do more. In fact, we're going to do a small one in just a second, but let's start with our cute little Santa. And then he just pops out, and oh my gosh, so cute. I think I ended up imagining that he would be really cute on the white, and I do love him on there. I think I'm going to tack him on there. And then we can go ahead and, see, I guess I can use regular glue. Let's see if I have a tape runner. Actually, tape runner, that'll be quicker. And then I'll pull out a little card background that I do have done already. So you can see how quick these rub-ons would be, even if you had to do several cards, or you wanted a whole little collection. Like, how fast is that, right? So I had this little panel because I had actually done a few Christmas cards earlier, and I had splattered this panel already. And I had a couple extra, you know, as you do when you practice. And I was like, oh, how cute is he on the dark blue? I love that. So whether it's a splatter panel, a solid panel, or maybe even something like this. This is one of our new Better Press plates. In this case, it is foiled. As you know, Better Press plates could be foiled or printed with ink. So I thought, oh, this is a cute option too. Maybe if I did a frame with something like this. Like, here's a little Santa rub-on on the frame. He might be cute on the little kind of cross-stitchy background there. Again, so many different options, but let's go with Santa right now before we get distracted. I'm going to put just a little bit of foam adhesive. I don't feel like it needs to be popped up a ton, simply because this frame is already has that nice texture on it. Oh, and then you know what? Before I stick this on though, I was wondering, I had grabbed this red twine. Oh, that's actually kind of cute. Okay. False start. Let's rewind just a little bit and we'll get this twine on here. I'm just going to wrap it around the panel. So this is just a plain panel. It's not on a card base yet. So I think a couple little wraps of twine might be super cute. Yeah, just like two. It's plenty. See if this elf knows how to tie a bow. Go here, we'll go here. I think because the Santa's got that cute little red and white, he looks awfully fun with his little red and white twine. Boom, boom, boom. With this twine too, another pro tip, I always like to put a little dot of glue. Let's get them on there first. So see how it gets twisty sometime? I think that's the nature of the red and white twine. Let's get Santa on there, and then we'll put a dot of glue and hold that twine in place. I'm putting it up just a little bit higher on the card base because I still want to add my sentiment below. Good, yeah. So fun. Okay, so now I can double check my bow, make sure it's all proper place, and then I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue. Sometimes I just put it in the knot. Just add a little smidge, maybe even a little bit where that twine tends to twist. Well, what's coming out? There we go. I feel like I want to squeeze too hard. It's going to go all over. Okay, glue, come on. All right, try the pin trick again. There we go. All right, again, just a tiny bit like in that knot. And then I just think that helps hold your bow nicely in place. It's going to take just a little second to dry. And then again, left a little bit of room for my sentiment. Let me grab a little bit more foam here. Pop this guy on here. All right. So again, so sweet, so simple. I'm going to show you a few more examples before we move on to the little guy. This, you know me, I was going to make sure it's like exactly straight. Looking straight? I think so. Oh, how fun. Right? Sweet, simple. You got that little embossing folder around the edge. Let me show you a couple more cards I made earlier that are super simple, probably even more simple than Santa here. We have Little Miss Piggy. How fun is that? So that's with the arch die, of course. That same folder does the arch. Popped up there and simply has one of those rub-on sentiments below. I mean, could not be more simple. And I actually love the crisp plain white as far as the card base. Just super simple. Oh, this is one we had on display, actually. Another version, the little deer. So cute. Again, the rub-on sentiment. And then here's one with Little Mr. Hedgehog. And this actually sentiment is, again, popped up, sort of like Santa here. This is from one of our new sentiments. Again, we'll link that there, but this is a new Better Press sentiment. Just a small little Better Press and matching die cut set that I have used so much this Christmas. So I know this is a fun one. This sentiment, by the way, is from last year's Christmas collection. So fun to pull out those products we already have, mix and match, make them all work together. But again, that emboss and cut folder is just so fun. Just way too precious. All right. So super fun. So I'm going to bring this guy back in. We won't take too terribly long on this, but I'm going to fire up my candle here. Things are getting hot in the studio now. And while this is warming, I can tell the air conditioner's on. Yes, it is summer in Arizona. While this is warm, I'm going to show you a couple other samples too of how these little guys work. I've just got some teal beads. I'm going to do one of these larger new seals that we have. This actually comes in a 2-pack. So this is an oval and a rectangle. Sort of similar in the way that the folder had the 2 different shapes on it. This is a wax seal pack that comes with the 2 different shapes inside. Ooh, nice close-up. Love it. And then you have the 2 matching dies, which you probably saw earlier, kind of sneak peeking in there, that will help you kind of embellish your wax seals. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the oval, I think. I'm going to put 6 beads in because this is a little bit bigger of a seal. So we'll let those go ahead and melt. I'm going to use the oval stamp and then, of course, the matching oval die. So this time what I'm going to do is grab one of our little guys here. Oh gosh, they're all so cute. Maybe I'll do the bunny. I don't know if a bunny is exactly Christmas, but he is holding a candy cane, so why not? I think he'll also fit super cute in that little oval. So we're going to do the same exact thing we did earlier. In other words, peel this back. Get a little bunny. So you can see how teeny tiny this is. So cute. Ooh, it's actually kind of a good tip here to put this on this mat. Seems like it's rubbing off even easier. The little cushion behind. I just gave myself a tip and I didn't even know it. I do think I remember that from back in the day. You guys help me out in the comments. Did we used to rub on like on a little mouse pad or something? And then that somehow made it easier? Sure feels like it. Let's see if I got it all yet. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Super fun, super easy. All right, I'm going to reuse this yellow tape because why not? And then, oh, isn't it going to be cute? A little tiny bunny. So these rub-ons are all in the same pack. Remember, guys, you're going to get tons and tons of cards and rub-ons just from that single pack. All right, this is still melting. I'm not starting on fire yet, so quickly cut this. I might do this a little bit off camera just because. Zip it over here. You guys can watch my we can watch my wax melt. Do you like my costume? I get a little sillier sometimes. All right, so there's my little oval, and you're going to see the magic happen. Now we've got our oval frame. So one tip that I kind of like to do too, because I know I'm going to have to make my wax kind of fit this oval. So when I pour my wax, I'm going to keep my seal next to it, and then I'm going to sort of try to go along with that shape. Now, if I was doing the big rectangle, I would try to somewhat pour it in a rectangle. So these have got a couple of waxes together, so they're kind of blending a little marbly. So you can see how I'm trying to like get an oval shape. Now, wax seals are perfectly imperfect. They're not going to be perfect every time, but I think if you start out with a shape, you're going to get closer to not having that situation where like you don't have enough wax. See down here, maybe it's a tiny bit thin. I'm totally fine with it. But we are going to let that cool for a bit. So let me set this to the side and I will be thrifty and blow out my candle. I do have a couple small wax seals. I'm going to bring those in and show you a little project. Two, we're not going to melt these today, but look how cute our little mini wax seals are. Oh my gosh, aren't they fun? So these are fairly new. We've had mini wax seals for just a wee little bit. And then when we decided to do these Christmas ones, Josie had a great idea. She's like, oh, what if we do the handles like a Christmassy color? Okay, so we have a beautiful star, and this is a 3D seal. Fantastic. You're going to get a really deep, gorgeous star. And then we've got a snowflake, and then a little for you, which is totally adorable. Totally love it. But again, love the cute little handles. So cheerful and shiny and sweet. Here's one that was already stamped out. Like I said, we're not gonna melt the mini one right now. But look how cute is that snowflake. I created this little mini envelope to put a little, you know, mini card inside. And then the small little seal with that snowflake. Isn't that cute? Kind of fun with the black wax too. Kind of dramatic. Let's see. Oh yeah, I have one more card, but we'll show that after we pull this guy off. All right, so my seal is dry, or I should say cool. And the wax mat is kind of nice because then you can just peel it up. Very cute. Okay, I did one earlier in case I totally messed it up, but I'm happy with both of them. Both of them are really cute. Again, this one could have had a little bit more wax down here, so we'll go with my one that I did earlier today. I knew it was going to be cool. And you do want to let this cool a few minutes before you adhere your little wax seal on here, but it actually cools pretty fast. So I'm just going to use a little bit of wet glue in here. You could use one of our little stickers. You would have to trim it down, but just a smidge of wet glue does the trick. Oh my gosh, look at that bunny. How sweet is he? And again, reminder, you've got all these little options in the wax seal, so you have all these little creatures. Let's see, how many are there actually? There's 6, so there'd be 12 different ones. You could do 12 unique seals. And again, whether it's the rectangle or the oval that we used, you have your choice. Just like the embossing photo, you have 2 choices. So those can be cut, you know, depending on the critters, which one suits better. And again, there's some of those cute sentiments right there. But how cute is Mr. Bunny? Love, love. Now this card I had finished earlier, and I actually used one of our little gold paint pens. So I'm not going to go through and finish this whole card with a little bunny, but I wanted to share this finished project with you. So this time I've got a little bit of pattern paper back here. Oh no, actually it's not pattern paper. I looked at it, I'm like, how did I make this card? This actually is another better press plate in the background, just a really soft gold on that pink panel. So that made, it looks like pattern paper, right? Makes my little panel there. And then I used, of course, our amazing twine die, which is a grand favorite of Spellbinders. It's been around forever and will probably be around forever because it's so perfect. It looks like string, but it's actually a die cut. And then you can see where I did the little penguin there in that seal. Add a simple sentiment and boom, you are done. Love it so much. Okay, so let's show off a couple more cards before I let you go on this fun day. I'm going to bring in another pack of rub-ons, and these guys are the second set of rub-ons that we have. And you can see that there's not really any smaller images. Maybe if you zoom out just a smidge. Oh, Gavin's ahead of me there. So there's 2 sheets in this rub-on pack, and I didn't have the packaging, so I put the number right here. Just the same way that these guys are. They are both SCSRs, which stands for rub-ons. This is 003. And this pack I'm showing you is 005. Again, we'll link it in the comments, but I know some people like to jot that down. But again, this is a really, really easy set to make gorgeous, gorgeous Christmas cards and not have to worry about, I'm looking at my die, how funny it slipped right in there. And really not have to have anything. You just maybe do a basic shape with it, maybe just do just a rub-on on a rectangle panel. You could whip out cards like this so fast and easy. I have 2 to share with you using these products. This first one, again, is about as easy as you can get. We use just our modern arch. I did put a little embossing folder back there, but you wouldn't even have to do that. I totally rubbed this guy on, popped up my sentiment, done. Like he doesn't have anything extra, no twine, no anything. And I think really just the image, that sweet antique image, does the work for you. So again, super easy. And then this one I did add a tiny bit more, but not much. We've got our traditional arch die here. So you can see that I just love this bird image, by the way. Where is he? Oh, the bird image is from the original set. Here, I'm like, where's my bird image? Let me grab my original ones. Oh, yeah, yeah. So remember this guy that has, so this is the original set. You've got this beautiful cardinal image here. So whichever set of rub-ons you use, just the idea that you're going to get something so quick and easy. And I did put a little bit of our sparkly watercolor on there. But how sweet and easy, right? So quick. All right, so I'll bring a couple more little cards in for my little parting shot here. We'll check out Santa we did together. So cute. Got to put Piggy in there because I love him. And then we'll put little penguin in here. So again, Holiday Magic is the name of this collection. We do have some Simply Made projects mixed in there. That's mostly referring to this rub-on set. But again, all the products will be linked. You guys can have a jolly old time, if no pun intended. Of course, checking out all these items at spellbinderspaperarts.com. And of course, we want to thank Scrapbook and Cards for including us in your partner celebration. You're celebrating all month long in August, and there is a chance to win. So I'm going to let Megan give details on that. But I think you have to go over to the blog post and enter to win. We have a little holiday surprise for you to try to win. So again, enjoy spending this time with you. Enjoy your all month long partner celebrations. And here at Spellbinders, we absolutely enjoy spending time with you. So hopefully we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.